Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised. And, just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everybody.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to PunkDroid.
Madness Comic Network and Comic-Related Madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Yeah, I needed some of that coffee, man. Woo! Hi, guys. How are you? Happy Tuesday. I am here. Man, it has been a wild few days. I just gotta say. For all of you that are not aware, I don't know how you couldn't know because I've been posting every 5 minutes. We launched Path of the Pale Rider issue number 5 on Friday. Yes, the lady with the coffee. That's me. I'm your hostess with the hottest coffee around, Laurie Calcaterra. And Friday night and Saturday, this thing just took off. And I 100% appreciate all of you guys that came out and showed support. I'm humbled by the support and the people that want to come and just read the story. So, gosh. So let's see. So Friday and Saturday, the thing took off. We had some backers on Sunday, even it was Father's Day. I was like, nah, no one's going to look at this thing on Sunday, but still we were going forward. And then yesterday I was like, man, I think we started the day at 90%, like 94%. And I was like, let's get this thing funded. So I hopped on Monday Madness. I went on Critical Blast with RJ, which I have a story about. And then I hopped on Corissa's show. And by the end of Corissa's show, we were funded. So just to put that in perspective, the first campaign that we ran, I did a 30-day campaign and we were funded, I think, on day 27 or 28. So almost all the way to the end, right? And then, of course, that last couple days, there's a big push and then you go, above and beyond. Issue number 2, I think it took us, it wasn't quite as long, but it was still like 20 plus days. I think 24. Issue 3, it took us 7 days. Issue 4, it took us 7 days. 3 days. It took us 3 days to get to our goal this time, which is just amazing. So now we can have fun. Now we can break all the stretch goals. My husband is super scared that I'm going to be getting a tattoo. Because I was like, at 8K, and he was just, I just threw out a number. We haven't broken 7K. So I was just like, we're not going to get to 8K. And he just keeps looking at me like, why did you do that? And I was like, because, I kind of want a tattoo. I'm like, I'm not like putting up for a survey where people get to tell me what to get. I get to choose, but you could watch me get a tattoo, and I think that would be fun. But now he's afraid that I'm going to be getting this tattoo. So I don't know. I if we get to 8, that would be amazing. Amazing. Hey, good morning, John. How are you, sir? I saw you last night. But just so you guys know, here we are as of this morning. Whoo. Wait a minute. That's not how you spell her name. That's a misspelling. That's a B-U, butcher. See, and it might take us a little bit to get to 8, but if we get there, I will get that tattoo. I've never not done what I've said I'm gonna do. So, 1 week, you week 1 finders? What? Think you're so cool? Funders? Are you week 1 funders? Man, it's been a
nobody could hit the U this morning. You see what I'm saying?
No one can what this morning?
Nobody can hit the U. Everybody's hitting the I instead of the U.
It's the I is on vacation. On vacation. Something super cool happened yesterday. I went on RJ's show, Critical Blast, and he and I had gone on his show, I think, for issue number 3, but it was like a last minute thing. I was like, hey, I'm looking for a show. Anybody got a spot that I can squeeze into? And he had a spot for me. And I think it was, issue 3. So he and I got talking and he was super excited about the book. And then, of course, like issue 4, the trade paperback goes by, and now we're on to issue 5. And so I scheduled his show, ahead of time. I was like, hey, I'd love to come back on the show, talk about, our progress and what we're doing now. And so like a month went by. I get on the show and he just casually says like, oh yeah, I got a few ads to play and then I got some music. And I was like, cool. So he starts playing his ads. And then after his ads, he starts playing this Western song. And I was like, I like this Western song. And then it starts singing about like Jude being on his path. And I was like, wait a minute. This is a song about he wrote a song about Path of the Pale Rider. I love to play it for you guys so you can hear it. You guys want to hear it? I'm gonna go play. I don't have anything, like I just got this. He was so gracious to send me the file so that I could use it. But you know me, I'll do some kind of video for it with a slideshow at some point, but I don't have that ready because things happen, need some time. So right now it's just audio, and scroll down there and you guys can hear it. Ready?
Dude roams the barren prairies.
Where is it? I have to start it over. You start it over.
Seeking fate by his own
We're just gonna listen to it. This is not the beginning. I messed it up.
Bodies walk, but minds are twisted. Eyes are empty, no surprise. Jude's heart feels the heavy burden of a world where no one dies. Jude rides on through ghostly whispers, dust and shadows side by side. Will he triumph? Will he falter on the path of the Pale Rider? Every town's a haunted wasteland, faces there but not alive. Jude seeks answers in the silence of forsaken souls who strive. Hope is but a distant memory in this drought of dreams and light. Jude's resolve is forged in sorrow in this never-ending night. Jude rides on through ghostly whispers, dust and shadows side by side. Will he triumph? Will he falter on the path of the Pale Rider?
Hi, Glenn.
There's but
Good
a
morning,
distant
guys.
memory in this drought of dreams and light. Jude's resolve is forged in sorrow in this never-ending night. Jude rides on through ghostly whispers, dust and shadows side by side. Will he triumph? Will he falter on the path of the Pale Rider?
I think it is.
RJ made it.
RJ made it. So, hold on, because I think it. Yeah, I have it on repeat. So anyway, I wasn't expecting that, and he plays it right before he brings me on, and I'm crying in the back. Just like bawling. I'm like wiping my eyes and I'm like, I'm trying to compose myself. He brings me out. I don't know, my glasses on. Just like, oh, it was so cool. And so I thought it was nice. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
I thought it was cool. And I would like to do, eventually like some kind of slideshow with Jude writing, and like, art from the comic just set to music would be so cool.
Yeah,
So,
he did
but
that.
yeah.
He did that same thing to me. Just sent me this thing to play right during a show. He's like, "Here, Pops, just play this." and I played it, and it was like the Roku song, put a little madness in your life. And it was like, I had no idea he was doing it. It's amazing. RJ rocks, guys. I don't care what anybody says. And, that dude is just fucking awesome. I'm saying it's like.
And he had some super deep questions about my story. Where he was just like, okay, so then what happens if like someone has a pacemaker? You know what I mean? Like they still technically have a heartbeat, but they're still animated. are they dead? Are they alive? And I was like, dude, you just opened a whole new rabbit hole. Like
whole new can of worms
whole
right
new
there.
can
Good
of
job,
worms,
Michael.
dude.
See, that's what I said. This book is a thinking person's book.
And it was so funny, Pops, because DM Ray, I know you guys know him as DM Ray, who's been on the show. He's author of Madcaps. Yeah, he made one for Perfect 10 too. He was showing me your hardcover book, Dave. It was beautiful, by the way. Gorgeous book that they put together for you. So I was talking with DM Ray. He does these really cool like reviews with some video behind it, so you can watch it on YouTube. But he's telling you about like his review of whatever issue, and he read it like a while ago, and then he shows up yesterday in my chat. He's like, "So I have thoughts." Thank you, Dave. He was like, I have 2 theories, and I'm like, lay them on me. And so the first one where he was like, what was the first one? It was like, what if Jude is actually deaf and he has amnesia? Can't remember. And I was like, that's an interesting theory. And we talked a little more, and he said something else about Jude that's happening in the story. And I was like, oh, you noticed something that most people have not. So I was like, I'm not saying you're right, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not giving you any hints, but you've clued into something that most people haven't. And he's like, well, then I have this other theory. The other theory was that death has to transition people in a certain order, and Jude is either intentionally or unintentionally avoiding death, and that's why everybody else got halted, is because Jude hasn't been collected by death yet. And I was like, that's another interesting theory. And he was like, but he's like,
that guy in the ambulance, that first guy.
Yeah, he's like, am I close? Am I close? And I'm like, I'm not telling you. You just gotta wait and see, man.
See, I still want to know what happened. Where was Patient Zero?
Who was Patient Zero?
The guy in that ambulance, the first guy that
was
set
he?
up. Well, I don't know for sure. It could have been anybody anywhere else. That's the first one we see, right?
Yes, that's the first one that Jude sees.
Yeah,
it's his story.
It's the first one that I see. So that, to me, that's my Patient Zero. Okay, so
yeah,
I want to know what that guy was doing in the hours prior to getting injured.
He was singing "In the Ghetto" in his car, and that's why I killed him.
Laurie killed him. Laurie is dead.
Cannot sing that song in my story without some kind of consequences. There's consequences.
Laurie is dead.
And if you sing "In the Ghetto," you die. Because I hate that song. So yeah. So anyway, I thought that was very interesting. I thought DM Ray, Ray's a writer as well, so his gears are turning already. So I'm just like, ooh, I love when people come at me with theories. I'm like, I love to hear what people are trying to figure out about the story. The sucky part is I never tell you if you're right or wrong.
Well, no, you're not supposed to.
No.
If you tell me, then yeah, I probably know where it's going now.
Right.
Thing that I love about this is I'm still not sure where this is going.
Nope. And you won't know for a little bit. I did say something really important on RJ's show because he was really tuned into some things. So if you want to form a theory, go watch Critical Blast episode from last. Oh, speak of the devil. Here's RJ. I was going to say, go watch that episode that RJ and I did last night. Go watch the replay because I did say something. I asked RJ a question. It was very poignant, and that might give you a hint.
But see, I don't want the hints.
Well, then.
Also,
it's like I think it's a hint, but most people will be like that. I don't know.
That's what I love about this is that I'm not sure where it's going. It does make me think, and it's the only comic that I'm thinking about when I'm not doing comics. Okay, the only one that just a random thought will hit my head and go, but what about that?
Yeah,
and then I'll work my way through it, and I'll be like, try to decide whether or not it's something worthy of bringing to you. You know what I mean? It's like,
good morning, RJ, by the way.
good to see
Yeah, and
you.
I love it. I love it when people are like, but what about this? And I'm like, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And all I do is open more wormholes for you to fall into. And I'm like, well, what about this then? So I love it. We have a good time. And yeah, no, I hate that song. Little less conversation. Yeah, I like Elvis. It's not the Elvis. It's that song. I just can't. I just can't
I
do
could
it.
like it if it was anywhere but Chicago.
I just don't. I can't.
If it was a New York morn, if it was a Atlanta morn or a San Francisco morn, I'd like it. But
Yeah, there's something about that song that I just want to rip my ears off my head, throw them at you.
oh man,
And the worst part, my husband knows that it's one of like those terrible earworms for me, and so he'll sing it as he walks by, like no, 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 and I'm like, kill you.
he just went up 2 rungs on my husband ladder.
There's that one, and then he'll sing like what is it, Neil Diamond, where it's like Shiloh, I know your name, and I'm like, you better not.
Look, this is funny because I know Laurie can block me for doing it, but she can't block him. So go, boy.
I can't block him. So when he wants to be super, sarcasm, charming, punch you in the face, it's like, you better not, sir.
You know the funniest part about that?
Printer. Hi, you better not come over here. We're not friendly.
She's mad at the dog right now. I can see.
No, that's a spider. There's a spider on my printer looking at me like, yeah, hi. And I'm like, no, we're not friends. I wanted to point out a couple things on the campaign because I don't think people know that they're there. I want to remind people that we have a You Pick 2. I mean, I feel like, Pops, my reward tiers resemble like a restaurant menu at this point because we got ketchup and mustard and hot sauce. So you could do a You Pick 2.
Where's the Niedermeyer mayo?
That would be the secret menu. I swear to God, Spider, if you come closer, I'm squishing you.
What's up, Victor? What's happening? Victor?
Hey, yeah, that's your cover. Yes, it is.
Yo,
Every time Victor shows up, I'm like, Victor Medina, so hot right now.
This is what I've noticed is happening today. It's like you mentioned RJ shows up. You mentioned you pull up Victor's cover, Victor shows up.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I don't know, man. Well, I have a problem about doing that in my story too, and I'm like, pandemic, and then the pandemic shows up. So y'all should be afraid about what's in the next one because there's a possibility that could happen too. I'm just saying.
That pick 2 covers over there. For you guys who can't decide between 2, right? You pick one, you're going to the add-on to get the other one. You don't got to do that. You can pick 2 right there.
This one's actually cheaper because the add-ons, so the way that I do my pricing, the physical copies are $10, the PDF is $5. So if you go to the add-ons, if you're adding on another cover, it's for the $10. But if you do the combo, it's only $5. So you get 2 covers or 2 physical copies and the PDF for $20. So it's a little cheaper to do it that way. But I just figured like if you're going to get 2 covers, I would, give you a discount that way. And you could pick whatever too. It's not just the sun and moon, but I had the most feedback from my fans that were like, I really like the moon one, but gosh, that sun one is so good and I can't decide. So that's why I was like, you can bundle these. There's no stickers. Hugo, I mean, you know me, right?
You're gonna get all the stuff.
Hey, Laurie, I'm in that time period. Can I also get an early bird sticker? And there's this great thing on Kickstarter when you go over into the backer report where you can add notes to people as a backer. So if you have a special request, I just make a note, like add a sticker. I do it all the time, just so you know. So if you want to change, you can. I don't mind. You can monkey around with your.
You just walk up to her at a table at a con and go, "Hey, Laurie."
Hugo sees me in person. He is local, so if you really want one, Hugo, you just come find me. If you make the trip to see me in person, you can earn a sticker. How about that? So, but that is there, the sun and moon combo. But you can pick whichever covers you want. So if you want a Gilbert cover and a Marco cover, that works. You can have these two. You want a Lola cover and a Big James cover, that works. Whatever you decide. So I like that one. I might keep putting it on until people realize that it's there. The other thing I did yesterday is the jigsaw puzzle. I made it an add-on because I think people are torn between some of the pledges, and they're like, I like the jigsaw puzzle, but I really want that t-shirt. You know what I mean? So it turns out that I made this available as an add-on. So if you guys wanted, it's $20, I think, because I'm custom making them myself. But there you go. So I just wanted to make sure people knew that that's there. Pops, where did you go? I was going to tell you something, but whatever. Catch up. Secret reward. Wooden cover. I don't know if you guys have noticed a theme, but we're like going into wooden stuff. So just want to say that. And we're going to figure out some more things. Gilbert and I were kind of picking some brains. I was picking his brain. He was picking my brain. And we're coming up with some stuff. Oh, his power went out. So he'll be right back. So, yep. And look, if you want something specific and I don't have it on the campaign, I will custom make a tier for you. So, this is Mel. She's been with us since the beginning, and she's in Canada. And so what she does is she'll send me a message and be like, I want these covers. And then I will weigh the things and I'll figure out the exact shipping and I'll put it together for her. And it's a 1-on-1. And as soon as she backs it, then it's gone. Right. So I will do that. If you're in Canada, I will do that. Corissa is like sitting on my chest telling me I need to do international shipping. So, I mean, with enough pressure, I'll probably cave. I'm just worried about like VATS tax and some other tax things that I need to be educated on just to make sure I'm not making mistakes. What was one of the other things I wanted to mention? I forget. Oh, I wanted to talk about the hot sauce. So, hot sauce wise, when I first did, I forget which campaign was it, 2, 3? I think it was 3. God damn that spider. What is it doing? It's on the wall now. Spider. So the first time I did Path of the Pale Sauce, I think there was like 6 bottles that went out. The second time I put it up was for the trade, and I did 12 bottles. As of right now, and we have what? How many days left? 19. Yeah, 30 bottles. 30 bottles of hot sauce claimed. Dude, you better not. Don't sing the song. I squish you. So yeah, so 30 bottles of hot sauce as of right now. So I'm gonna be making hot sauce until my eyeballs fall out. Pun intended. So yep, so we're still going for the next 19 days. I have a bunch of other podcasts scheduled. I'm going on Greg Moklin's show tonight. Oh, speaking of Greg, he has a campaign. Let me show you guys. We'll walk around some of the other campaigns that are live right now because there's a ton. I don't know if we had a secret meeting or there was a memo that went out and was just like, hey, we're all going to launch in June, but that's kind of what happened. So Greg Moklin is doing Inc. This is the 3rd issue, which is super cool. It's I know he gives the recap, but I want to make sure I do it justice. Inc. is like, he's a tattoo artist and he gets like the keys to reality. I'm scrolling too fast, I know. He gets the keys to reality, and so he has to protect the realms. That's his new job, but just incredible art. And it's just something new, something different. And now Greg also does a series called Mittens that I have backed. I've backed this one too. I think I did digital the first time, but this one, I got to get caught up. It's a good story. So Inked is out right now. Inked 1 through 3, The Harvest. Y'all know my bestie, Corissa Grant. She was funded yesterday. So let's refresh. Let's take a look. 1,500. So she's on her like first whole day. So this thing's gonna just keep tracking all day today, which will be great. So issue what? 25, 37, 82, issue 11, which still is insane. Poor Corissa. She was, you know, getting ready to launch and she was adding like one last thing and found out that she had switched all the international and domestic shipping costs. I was like, oh my God. Now, you know, that sounds like a mess, but you have to understand that she has like 44 tiers. Look, because she doesn't get rid of anything, she just adds on more. So she literally has 44 tiers of things that she had to go in and change the shipping on. And it doesn't show you the shipping amount on the, like when you're building it. And so she would like forget where she was and have to, it's just a mess. Look at that. Look at all those tiers. Insane. So if you haven't backed Corissa yet, just remember that she fulfills usually within 48 hours and she's live every other month. It's insane. It's insane. So there's that one. And there's another one that Chad Perkins said. It's called Off the Hook. That's live right now. Where is it? Give me a second. I'll go pull it. Do. This one is just such a funny concept where it's a fish. So this guy, wait, can I go to the campaign? Where's the heck? Because no, I want to go here. All right, look, so set the hook. What is going on? Can you guys see it? Yeah, it's fine. So this one is about a man trying to get revenge on a fish that killed his dad. It's just nuts. And he's willing to sacrifice like children in order to get the fish to show up. It's what did he call it? It was like Moby Dick meets Constantine, and I can kind of see that vibe where the guy is just he's difficult to work with. You know what I mean? It's funny. I did back this one. I got the C. Michael Lanning cover. That spider is gonna kill me if I disappear. The spider got me, guys. I see you in the corner, sir. I keep telling you, you come over here, I'm gonna squish you. He's got some really nice covers. Ta-da. So anyway, that's there's a ton. John has one too. Which one is that one? Drumsticks of Doom? Do. I don't know which one is live right now, John, but I'll find it. Or is it done? Is it done now? Look at that. 19 projects. That's insane. My personal favorite is Bulletproof Chicken. Like, look at this, guys. Do. Look at this. Bulletproof Chicken. It's so funny. King Bone Press. Oh, you can't see my screen? Can you see it now, Hugo? It just took me a second. I forgot I had to push all the buttons. Aha! Ta-da! Pops isn't here to like reel me in sometimes, so. This one was super cool. I guess the other one ended. I know it had only a few days left, so that one must be done. It must be done. Let me share this page. Used to have 2 Goliath tarantulas along with the few spiders are cool. Not when they're creeping on me and I don't. Okay, now I don't know where. Oh, there it is. I see it. He's creeping away. I just don't like them because they're little and I can't see where they are. So they could be on me and I wouldn't know. And that's what freaks me out. I don't like it. They're too little. And they're intelligent. That's the problem. I don't like it. So yeah, that's where we are. I'm just hanging out here by myself for another 30 minutes. All right, guys, let's do something. Let's play a game. Let's watch a video. Oh, I want to remind people that this is still up for grabs. Like I said, it's a little more pricey, but it's a piece of our history. Because Gilbert, for all I know, he plans on staying until issue 36. So this is his first ever cover for Path of the Pale Rider, and this is the original inks. So, and again, if people don't get it, then I will. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. It's on Zoop. That's why I couldn't pull it up. Thank you. Give me 1 second. I was like, where the heck is it? You're like, you're on the wrong platform, Laurie. I'm like, yeah, well, that explains it. Let's go to Zoop. I'm not super familiar. Let's see how easy it is to find. And I know that's the link, but sign up for our newsletter. How do we search? Just go to campaigns. There's Pops. Campaigns. Here it is. It pulls right up. Here it is, people. Band on Silver Mountain. Hi. Welcome back. Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, it's a mini-series with all previous issues. Lana and the band head to a mysterious Silver Mountain to record their album, but some uninvited guests want to join in. Interesting. 15 days left, so make sure you jump on that. I haven't looked at... Have I gotten anything off of Zoop before? I don't think so. Raise of hands. Who has backed something on Zoop? Okay, so this looks like... I just backed something for the first time on Fund My Comic. Fund Your Comic. Fund Your Comic. And that was Nem's Blood World Phoenix Throne, #1. And I think this functions the same way, where you add things to the cart. You have? Okay. That's interesting. Looks like you add things to the cart and then you check out. So that's cool. So it's more like a storefront than like Kickstarter where you have to back a pledge.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Stupid power flickered just enough to turn the computer off. My computer really does not like being turned off without doing it the right way. And it takes forever to come back. Every time.
I hear you, Hugo. Wells Thomas does so much stuff. I backed the one that was like the Deep. It was such an interesting, but it was a huge graphic novel. And I think their goal was like 20 grand. So it was just like, oof. So I backed that one, but that one didn't go either. But
well, Brian's got about 60%, 65% on 6 Gun. It didn't fund. I don't know what.
Is it Zoop?
I don't know if it's because people know about it. It's not like it's new. It's been around for a while. I don't know if you have as much control over your campaign as a creator.
Oh, that's right, because it's what do they call it?
It's curated.
Thank you. Curated. So Zoop is the one that puts the things. You send them the images and then they create the page.
Right. And I'm not even sure if you have control of your funding goals or anything. I don't know how that works.
That's crazy. How could you not? How could they know how much money you need for your budget?
I think it's what they're trying to sell themselves as a high dollar site. And the only way to
It
do that
doesn't
is
work
to
if
fund
no-
a whole
if it
bunch of
doesn't
high dollar
run.
campaigns. I know that they went to, when Brian went to them, it's like it was only because he had a library
Mm-hmm.
that they even talked to him.
Wow.
You know, I mean, he had 6 or 7 books in the bag already. They wouldn't just like, you know, back then they weren't even talking to people that only had one book.
And see, that's hard when you gatekeep. How do you get more than one book if no one will talk to you?
Now, SWAT, we also been promoting that guy, Justin Koepp, right?
Yeah.
SWAT published Blue.
Yeah, he's been on a ton of shows. And
Yeah.
this was interesting to me too, where he was like, Zoop says I need more people signed up for pre-launch before they will launch my. I'm like, you don't have control of when you launch your campaign.
You
And
see,
he's like,
that's
nope. So I don't like that either. You know?
Yeah.
It's cool that they want to support it, but it's just like, what's your goal? And he was like, I don't know. And I'm like, how do you I'm too much of a control freak. I gotta control that.
Yeah.
You know?
It just seems like a lot of time to spend on a maybe. You
1,
know?
2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, only 21 campaigns. That's it. That's crazy too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I just,
let's just
you
go
know,
to
I've been,
Kickstarter. I want to see the difference because I'm always like, you know, I'm always gathering information. So let's just go to comics. 28,464 projects. Wow. You see, that's the
Well, look,
difference for me. Like,
look right there, that
shopping
classic.
for comics. Wouldn't you come here?
Look at that classic horror poker deck.
This? Yeah, it looks familiar, doesn't it? Not there.
Yeah.
Classic horror. Well, this is cool. I wonder if I could do these. Yeah, interesting. And then you always wonder, like, where your campaign shows up in this 28,400. See, that's the double-edged sword here. People are coming here to look, but now it's like, how many times do you have to click load more before Path of the Pale Rider shows up?
Well, look, there's Star Horse.
Star Horse? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, of course it's up there. But Stripe probably won't release their money, so there's that.
Yeah. I mean, I think Stripe's the one that got in the way of the website that they were trying to build 5 years ago, too.
Here's Ergo Haven.
When we were doing the indie crowdfund, indiecrowdfund.com, which was to put books for retailers to go find books like this and get retail packages to put in their stores. And that's what it was for. But I'm pretty sure Stripe is what got in the way of that too.
I mean, that's just weird. Is it their shareholders that make those decisions, or?
Well, you figure what if some of the people that own stock in Kickstarter also own stock in that? And they're going to complain. You know, why you promote that? You know, why you
it's biting us creators in the butt too. I was talking with Corissa. One of her backers sent her a message that was like, you know, because of everything that's going on with Stripe and Kickstarter, I'm not backing anything on Kickstarter anymore.
And that is the problem with Zoop right there. It was created by mainstream creators.
Oh.
You know.
They're blocking access.
To help their friends, you know, and you know, what can you say?
Here's Ink. So we've been scrolling for a while. We finally got to Ink. We still haven't seen Path. Here it is. See? So it's like, that's the issue, is that there's so many. Oh, right next to Oswald Chronicles. Yep. That's cool. That there's, you know, 28,000 campaigns. But, you know, if I'm looking for comics and I'm looking for something new, there's a better chance I'm going to find something I like here than out of 21. You know, it's like, oh, I've seen all these.
The Chaos, Rogue.
Yeah. Rogue of the American Dream. Yep. David Tomasi. He's good people.
Riot Force, Tools of the Rich. I like that one. I'm just saying. Yeah, Riot Force. I like that.
Cool. So yeah, it's just interesting to me because, as a creator, you're always looking for, should I go to
Keith
another? Should
Williams
I?
sketchbook.
Hey.
Keith Williams sketchbook. Damn, yo.
This one?
Yeah, Keith Williams right there. That dude's a old school master right there. The
This is
Phantom,
over.
Laurie. The Phantom.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
But why is it showing it? It's over. Oh, probably because of the new feature of the late pledge.
Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah.
look. So I was like, why, if it's over? Oh, it has 12 minutes to go. That's why.
Oh, 12 minutes to go. There you go.
Yeah, isn't
People
that funny?
pulled one up out of
See,
nowhere.
look, this is my day today, Corissa. You're the third person that's happened. I've said
Yep.
your name or I've showed their art and they show up in the stream. So I should play the lottery today.
That could be a good idea.
Well,
But yeah,
man.
Keith Williams, if you don't know, you should know because dude's
Oh,
a
look.
beast. He was on CrownCon #1.
Was he? That's cool.
Yes, he was. He's actually how I met Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Rich had sent me a message going, I see you have Keith Williams going to be on CrownCon. He's like a mentor to me. He's like my dad. Can I come out and say hi? And I didn't know who Rich was from Adam, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And back then I didn't understand the internet or anything. I was like, sure, come on out, and it's like, it turned out a good thing, but Rich could have been I guess he turned out to be. He could have been some real super weirdo, right? That totally disrailed CromCon, but he wasn't. He was a good dude. It was true. He was actually one of Keith's, one of the guys Keith pulled up out of the bullpen and said, I want you to ink my stuff.
Oh, this
so
one's live again?
So yeah, I can still say nice things about that dude, even though,
Yeah, it's
he
all
wouldn't
right.
say nothing nice about me.
15 days to go for Samson #1. This was an interesting concept too. That's interesting to me. And Ben Lacey is a really great person. It's a historical fiction, and everybody has done historical fiction about the Holocaust, but to do it this way is a little different. So it's just really interesting. You guys should check that out. I didn't realize that was still, he had launched it and then took it. Now he launched it. So 15 days.
Now you guys know I would never do this on my show.
Do what?
Go
look at
through
campaigns?
Go through Kickstarter. I'll do it on Fund My Comic, but I won't do it on Kickstarter.
Well, I just want to look. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
because we were on like Zoop. You know what I mean? And I was like, where's the rest of it? This is it.
You see, and it's like it's an hour show going through Fund My Comic without even pulling up a single campaign.
Let's go there.
Without pulling up a single campaign on Fund My Comic, it takes an hour to go through everything. So the contrast is different there too. Fund My Comic has a bunch more campaigns than Zoop does, and Zoop been around a lot longer. So
all right, so here on Fund My Comic, we have comics, graphic novels, manga, books, magazines, tabletop games, board games, video games, card games, collectibles, miniatures, digital, and apparel. Wow. So it's a lot different, you know what I mean, than Zoop, where it's like 21 comics.
Yeah, we went through all these yesterday, though. You don't have to.
Did you? I'm not going to go through them all, but I'm just, that's what I wanted to do, is just compare what's available on the platforms. Right. I also want to, let's find Phoenix
Phoenix Stone. I think that's a newer one. I just go right down the website. I don't pull into categories because who knows. But yeah, there you go.
This one needs some love.
It does need love. I'm sharing the heck out of this. Look, this is our friend Nem, our friend Jeff Bracey. These are our people, man. These are madness people, and y'all should be out there throwing some love their way.
Well, and I know Nem is a writer, does incredible things. And, Dune just had its heyday, right? Dune 2 came out and everybody was, loving on that. This is kind of in that same light where it's like future space fife, technology-based warfare, and it's super cool. And I know that there's going to be twists and turns coming. I can kind of see the writing on the wall. And he does these other cool things like these space monkeys, which is just retro. It's cool, and I think this one needs to.
This is a comic book lovers comic book.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the ads, the funny ads, the fun. It's got the fun stuff. It's got the text, schematics. It's got space monkeys, guys. Come on. Do you remember the little fucking, what were they? The
sea
little
monkeys.
seahorses? Yeah, the sea monkeys. Okay.
Yeah.
Space monkeys, guys. Come on. Get behind what we're doing here. It's about having fun. And Nim understands fun comics.
And I asked them about this QR code. I was like, oh, because I need it to work. I need it to work, right? Because that's how I roll. Because I put QR codes on my stuff and they work. So I was like, this better go to something. And he's like, it will. He's like, but once the book prints, he's like, we don't want people doing it now because you technically could just, scan the screen and go.
Takes all the fun out of it if you do it.
Yeah,
now.
I'm like, you got to do it off of the comic. So, and this is funny too. It has like a little coupon that you could ship in. He's like, but this is just for entertainment purposes only. You're not going to get anything. So I like how they put the little asterisks there, but it's kind of funny. So he wanted to do some color forms. He wanted to have resin printed miniatures made of all these crazy mech. So you could do like a Warhammer. Look what I mean. Like, look at this panel. See where my mouse is? Where this dude has no arms and legs. It's like they're interchangeable. They just take them off and it's like changing out your shoes. That's how they are with their body parts. So it's really interesting. But then again, it's like you can kill people with a computer virus at that point. So there's a lot of layers to it. And I'm really, really hoping this one goes. And I was like, man, it's still got 21 days, but it just needs to find its place, right?
Look, it doesn't take a whole lot to get this one funded, guys.
No.
They're gonna
58% there, so
they're gonna print them anyway, no matter how many are. So just go do it. Just go fund it. Back it. Get you something here. You're gonna like it. It's a $10 book, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Remember $10 book? Remember? It's like it's not 20. It's not 25. Art's awesome. Story's awesome. Got some T-shirts. Got stickers. Got all that, man. Look, Space Monkey stickers, guys.
Yeah, Space Monkey stickers.
All kind of cool stuff.
Strong character stickers.
I did want to shift gears a little bit though before your next guest comes on.
Yeah.
Go.
What you got?
We went over 1,000 subscribers. Yes. And we went over it with enough of a cushion so that we're not going to get sucked back down. But I just wanted to thank everybody. And like during this show, this is one of the shows that YouTube has been stealing views and watch hours from. So I'm asking everybody watching to please go to the Madness YouTube channel right now and just drop a comment. Just a comment on the YouTube channel so that we can keep showing YouTube the amount of people watching compared to why they're taking it away from us all the time. Okay, we'll have no views on a show that has a dozen people talking in the chat.
Oh, this is crazy because we were talking about this yesterday, but anytime Corissa is on the show, she tends to get way more views than everybody else. Just because she's so active, she's got a great campaign, she's got a great personnel. People show up to see Corissa, right? And I was going through my playlist, and there was a show from Carissa's last visit. When I'm looking at the people that are watching the show, there was like 80 people watching the live stream, and YouTube said there was one view. One. And I was like, bullshit.
The only way we can
gets more views than everybody else.
The only way we can prove them wrong is for people to go into the YouTube chat right now and just say hi. Just go into the Madness YouTube chat right now and say hi. And then when they take all the views away from Laurie's show in a couple weeks, we can again show them the amount of people that are in the chat talking and watching and prove that they're lying and stealing. And that's
and we figured out why. We figured out why, because every time they take a view off, it takes away 2 hours of view time. Yes. And that's how you monetize the channel is by view hours and subscribers. So if they take away one viewer off of whatever episode of Tuesday Morning Brew, it takes off 2 hours. So
there you go. That's what
what's
I'm
up,
talking
man?
about. Please
You
go to
coming?
the Madness YouTube channel. Just go over there, say hi, watch
Yeah.
on the YouTube channel for a minute, and make them admit that they're lying when they take all these views away. You know, I mean, the only way we can prove it is in the chat. That's the only way we can prove that the number below is wrong. You know, now
So
I
you
did
do
notice that your launch party, they haven't stole no views yet from.
Yet.
I'm watching real close on that. I'm waiting for them to steal views from that too.
Yeah, they just start peeling them back.
Yes,
But it's
yes.
just so weird.
They act like you're not even there, Lou.
Like I'm talking to myself, or like I cloned your account and I'm putting like what? How can they take away a view when Lou is obviously here? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's crazy, you know.
By the way, hi Brad. I didn't say hi to you.
Oh, yeah,
sorry. You go ahead. Same with our. Yeah, Facebook got 1,000 views, but your YouTube version didn't get much. Wonder what the clash of views for you guys, unless it's because the show not being native. I don't know. I'm a figment of people's imaginations or nightmares. Me as well. I identify as a nightmare.
It's just weird, but this is the whole thing. Like I said, the only way we prove that they're taking stuff from us is if we can go in the chat and show that you guys were on the YouTube channel watching when they took all them views away. It's like one view, but there's a dozen people talking in the chat. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. But the only way we can prove it is for physical evidence in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey, look who's here. Hurrah!
I think we should go ahead and play this wonderful sponsor ad right now.
You want to play it again?
That leads into your next guest. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to be gone when you get back. So thanks, everybody. Thank all the subscribers that popped up here and put us over 1,000. I love you guys. Even the ones that hate us.
The future. The final frontier. It has never been so uncertain as now. AI, VR, haptic wear, nanotechnology, mass destruction with a remote click. Now we are finally seeing the true potential and dangers of an ever-connected and overly policed hyper-technological world. Have we finally become the architect of our own demise? Is there still hope? Welcome to the future. Welcome to PunkDroid.
Well, good morning, Christian. How are you?
Hey, whoop, my hand is disappearing. Ooh.
I know. My hat always disappears.
Hey, Laurie,
the joys of green screen.
The work, so yeah, all the funs of Kickstarter, yeah, the wonderful world of crowdfunding.
Right.
Always a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have a video for that. We played it, I think, yesterday, where it's like you just feel like you're getting you're playing dodgeball. You're just constantly playing dodgeball.
The thing for me is like you think you're playing, I don't know, whatever, tennis or something, and then they change the rules at the middle of the game. So no, now we're playing basketball. So,
right, now we're playing basketball and we're gonna just throw the ball directly at your head, and that's how we score points.
I don't have the shoes. I'm not prepared. I don't know how to play basketball. Sorry, that's how it is.
That's how it is now. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And especially something I criticized back in the day. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Like very huge players were entering Kickstarter crowdfunding. I'll say this is a bad thing for us. They say, no, they're gonna be a lot of eyeballs, blah blah blah. And I remember that was like a week after that. Say that is when the first time the Kickstarter collapsed because it was this very huge. I don't know his name, like a fantasy writer or something that he published like 2 books.
Brandon Sanderson. Yeah.
That
one?
Brandon Sanderson.
During
Wheel of
COVID, of course, he broke the thing.
Yeah.
He broke
Yeah.
the thing.
His counter looked like the stock exchange, you know, like the death.
We were doing a launch party that day for Alpha Dogs when he broke Kickstarter, and all the pledges that were going to Alpha Dogs weren't showing up because Kickstarter was dead.
Broke it like for 2 days.
Crazy.
Servers were down for like 2 days. So imagine people that were in the middle of the campaign or ending the campaign. I have a couple of buddies that were like screwed because of that.
Talk about bad timing. And it's
was
like here
crazy.
you are as me personally as an indie creator, I'm on a certain schedule so that way I can turn out maybe 2, possibly 3 projects in 1 year because that's how long it takes us. And if we don't get funded, that's a big deal, you know? So
I'm gonna get back out the way. It was just funny he
Okay.
brought that up. It was
Yeah.
Brandon Sanderson, the Wheel of Time.
That's the guy, it's Anderson. I knew it was I remember that I never had an argument with a couple of people that were trying to push things out and they say no, it's like tomorrow Stephen King's I'm gonna make a crowdfunding because like nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
I don't have a website. I don't work with like very big publishers, so let's take it with a try for this. You high, man? Come on. You don't have a couple of thousand to create a website like a proper one.
Yeah.
Really, you need to, and especially these are the same type of people that back in the day because I've been doing this 10 years. So at the beginning we were beggars, and why you always asking for money, and why you're poor, blah 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 blah. And now they find out, hey,
that's all of us.
This is actual a thing, Kickstarter is actual a thing. Of course, that's a financial instrument. It's been done for
I
years.
only laugh because I feel that personally, where it's like people all come out for issue 1 and they're like, "Yay, good for you," and then you're like, "Okay, I'm doing it again." They're like, "Well, I already gave blood at the bank last time. Like, I got to do it again?" And I was like, "Do you want another comic?" And they're like, I don't. And then they start, they dwindle. So those friends and family, those core people, sometimes they'll stay. Other times they're just like, "No, I already gave." You know what I mean? So it's so important to find that audience, that core audience.
The one that gets annoyed, or the one that like you just finished, like I don't know, feeling or whatever. I said, "Where's the next one?" They do it.
Right. Those are the people we want. Yeah. Like, when's the next one coming? I need to know more. Right. And you're like, okay, let me finish this one.
I always tell them, let's first sell this one, and then we talk about the next one. Okay, so first this one, and then if you sell this one, then we talk about the next one. Because
right.
At the end of the day, of course, a level of passion for sure, but at least the business needs to be sustainable. At least because that was my first thing when I started this to say, hey, I don't want to lose money.
Right.
Maybe I'm not gonna make a millionaire out of this, but at least I don't want to like put money into it. As I already putting money, you know how it is, hours, like
endless
during years, because it's not like a couple of months, years.
Yeah.
So that was like, and so far so good, but
yeah. Well, Christian, this is your first time coming on the show. We play your ad all the time. It's actually one of my my favorite commercials to play just because it's so cool. But I want to like do what I usually do on the show is I want to hear your origin story, like how you got into comics, things that influenced you, when you decided to actually like do it for yourself, all of that. So start at the beginning. Give us all the deets.
Well, thank you for the video. That was like a month work.
Was it? I feel you, man. Videos are not easy, people.
Yeah, because we do the animations, that we do the music is original from a buddy of mine, and all the effects and all that. So yeah, it was like a month and a half just doing that. Origin story. I when I was like everybody read comics when I was a kid. I was introduced to comics because I'm half Spanish, so I was introduced to comics through one of my cousins. When Europe is huge, and especially for little kids. And then I stopped when I was, I don't know, like 13, 14, something like that.
It wasn't cool anymore.
I discovered women and
Yep. That
It was
happens a
not-
lot. That's actually
it
pretty
wasn't not like
common.
today that comics are so cool. Everybody,
Yeah.
oh, it's mainstream. No. That was like women killer. If you mention that, oh, I like it. What?
Yeah. They're like,
Like one of
bye.
those record scratching moments. So I was okay. So I stopped reading comics back with, I don't know, I think it was the Claremont era, so in the 90s, early 90s, something like that, X-Men, but that was
Yes.
my jam. And then I like retook them like, let's say 12 years ago, something like that, because a friend of mine, because I've been always writing, you know, I started writing when I was like 14, so I'm writing everything from poetry, cinema, short stories, theater. I studied theater for many years. I did short movies with my brother, so it's a long story. So
Yeah.
he knew that I created stuff and I like to write and stuff like that. He said, hey, why don't you try comics? Because I was a little bit, you know, I was a little bit burned out because theater is very complicated because it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And also my brother was starting a production company, so they're maybe going to cinema. I said, why don't you try this? And he gave me Dark Knight Returns.
Nice.
And I said, whoa, okay, these are comics now. I said, yep. Well, not now. This has been going on for a while. And then he gave me like Sandman, and I said, okay, oh, Watchmen. I said, oh, okay, so okay, comics are serious now, not for kids only.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I discovered the actual world of comics. You know, the like historic comics or comics based on characters or famous people
Mm-hmm.
or philosophy or whatever you name it. You know, I remember I have a collection of mangas that is all based in philosophy, for
That's
example, which is a
interesting.
very crazy thing that I discovered some years ago. But especially if you go down that rabbit hole, it's like everything in art. You know, it's a endless rabbit hole. So,
Yes. I like those rabbit holes. Like,
yeah.
manga
So I was
about
okay.
philosophy. I'm like, I kind of want to do that.
Yeah, so I wrote like 5 or 6. I started with the concept of popular tales. Well, my idea was to bring back the same spirit of the classical folk tales and bring to us with a 21st century theme.
Yeah.
And I wrote like 5 or 6, and then I started like, you know, asking my friends and the people who follow me for all this stuff, say, what do you think? And they decided Red Riding Hood. That was the main one that everybody wants to see. So we did that with well, first we started like shopping around for a couple of years, literally, to all the publishers in the planet. I
Mhm.
sent the manuscript and the pages to, I don't know, 200 maybe, to during the course of 2 years, and everybody had an objection. Oh, I didn't like the cover, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. You should change this, and that. And at the end, I was so tired. I said, okay, whatever, to myself,
Yeah.
and raised the first. This is like from nothing. I remember that we did it. We even did it to Indiegogo just in case because we didn't know. So we raised like 4K back in the day, which is
Try
pretty
it. Yeah.
good. Cover the printing. We pay the artist a little bit. So, and since then, this gonna be hopefully the one that we do next month. It's gonna be my 7th book, my
Wow.
4th one with my own, like on my studio and publisher and stuff. Well, very small, very small business. Okay, so not like
You know what
hey,
though? I was talking with somebody about this, and they're like 90% of people that have an idea don't follow through. So it's only us 10% that actually have a book. And then from there, it's usually like the 1% of that who have more than one book. And you have
yeah,
7, and that's incredible. And
yeah.
and can I show off some of the art you sent me yesterday in the
Sure.
right.
Please do so. You have
Like
my background is gonna be, well, that's the my cover up. My cover that's not exactly the cover. The cover you have it at the end. I
yeah.
wanted to keep that as a secret, but we're going to reveal it in a couple of weeks. But yeah,
Cool.
that's one of the scenes of the comic. The artist from Claudio Sanchez, which is a fantastic illustrator from Spain. It's I've been working for him, as I mentioned, like 10 years. These are the main characters. Pinocchio is the whole idea is to take back the idea of the classical folktale by the Italian writer. I just forgot the name now. It's Coepp or something like that. That published the Adventure of Pinocchio in the 19th century,
Yeah.
the beginning of beginning of the 20s, like 902 or something like that. I know it was before the First World War, so it's a very old book.
Yeah.
And all the adaptations. So I said, okay, so let's take that idea of the puppet of the machine that wants to be human, all that, and let's spin it with today's AI issues, computers, and all that. And the idea is that this is like after we the war that a lot of people predicted with machines and men, and we have lost obviously. So this is like third generation after that, like way in the future. So let's say 200 years from now, something like that. And she's created to bring back that balance between the few humans that are still alive and the machines. And the thing is that she's a machine, but she has a technology that when humans see her, she has some like nano robots and nano things, very small robots like create like artificial skin, and she looks like a girl.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to go too far into this, people, because I don't like to spoil anything, but I just want to give you just a peek of some of the really cool characters that are in this story, because this is gorgeous. This is Ishtar, gorgeous. Lex, super cool. Like I could even see like a marketing program for this where it's like, can we get a Lex, like a little, like that's almost like a Matchbox car, but a Lex.
For the previous campaign, we had a couple of sculptures based on the cover. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to do like one of at least for the main character, stuff like that. But I think that the production costs are like crazy.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah. But I mean, like even like a resin printed little mini would be cool.
Yeah. No, awesome. we have like kind of like the manpower. Mainly when we need, but not always funds. So Ishtar is based on, I don't know if you remember artificial intelligence. The movie with the Steven Spielberg one based on Kubrick's. It's based on Jude Law character.
Jude Law's character, okay.
The escort robot, so that's Ishtar. So it's kind of like that, and based on other like more, but that line. And then Little Man is based. You're gonna laugh about this, but my idea was from the Bad News Bears. I don't know if you've seen that movie from the 70s. It's very old. It's about this group of kids who have a baseball team, and Guatemala is the trainer, and they lose.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bad News Bears. Yes, I remember.
So that's the catcher. That's the based on that character.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All over the place, And Lex is obviously from his world.
That's so cool. So we're mashing all these together, and then of course it looks like we got Jackie Chan here.
The Asian, look alike. He's an artificial intelligence. It's not real. He's a program.
So he's like a
Yeah. Pops know exactly what I'm talking about because that's a little bit old reference.
Engelberg.
And the book has a lot of influence from Bicentennial Man.
Another great movie. Robin Williams. I remember that one.
Robin Williams and Sam Neill. And iRobot. And of course, obviously, Ghost in the Shell, and because of the character, Alita Battle.
Yeah, I definitely see Alita with this one. Yeah. So very cool. Yeah, it's awesome
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's awesome to kind of like mash together all the best things that we've seen, and I'm sure like we're comparing it to that, but it's also none of that. You know what I mean? Where it's
of course.
Its own thing.
It's not exactly not Pinocchio story, so don't wait for there's gonna be cricket or people are gonna sing. So it's none of that. So
here, look at this, guys.
There are certain things, of course, certain similarities, and some idea. That's for example, that's the first page.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's created in a dumpster. That, for example, that's from Blade Runner 2049. I love that setting, since this is a fantastic setting, but we went a little bit different, and that's how the story starts. You can show the pages because those are the 8 first pages. I'm going to show that with the crowdfunding too.
I did the thing.
You see, like
this is so beautiful.
Yeah, that's where she started the train, because she needs to, she was created in a bunker underground, and because Geppetto was a robotics engineer, and he's been creating her for decades, and that's when he thinks she thinks he's ready, because a whole program that decides that, So, and of course, in order to be outside, she needs mentors and she needs figures to help her with the things that she's gonna face. And this is the first one. That's the one that prepares her for fighting, and all of that, to do stuff, to defend herself mainly, to follow the laws of robotics, not to hurt anyone except if you want to be hurt. So there's also a little bit of Asimov there, but changed a little bit slightly too. So
I was just cracking up at this right here. This makes me laugh. For those of us who have done martial arts, we've always seen the instructor like, get to work. That's exactly it. He's just like, go. He's like, you need to go train, so it just cracks me up. It fits perfectly. Look at this. Here we are having around the campfire.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Thank you, Pops. No, the work from Claudio is fantastic, and I cannot praise him enough. He's a traditional artist. All that you see except the color is done by hand. So it's pencils and inks. And for example, one of the rewards that you're gonna have several pages of the comic. If you want to buy it, that's one of a kind. I think it's A3. It's two pages size.
Yeah.
Because that's a normal one. So that's the standard, and gorgeous pages.
Just so people are aware, people that are watching, I just want to make you aware that Christian was not our originally slated guest for today. He's coming back in August, and that's one of the double-edged swords about how popular the Tuesday Morning Brew is sometimes it's hard to get on when your campaign is live. So since I had the spot open, I was like, hey Christian, why don't you come on? We'll talk, now, and then his campaign goes live next month, and then he'll come back in August and we'll kind of recap everything. So he's telling you what's going to be on the campaign.
Like July 18th, something like that. July 18th, August 18th, something like that. That's our idea.
That's why I'm like, he's telling you what's going to be on the campaign because it's not up yet. So, and unfortunately, he won't have a chance to come back while it's live. It'll be after. But I look forward to coming back, and we'll be like, this isn't all the amazing things that happened. And you can
we're gonna bombard everyone as much as possible.
Well, of course,
that's
what you're supposed to do.
I frequently apologize for that, but that's, for example, that's one of the scenes that there's a pit, because I wanted to have like a pit.
Is it like a fighting pit?
Yeah, like a fighting pit, because it's one of the few activities they have for entertain themselves, the androids in the dumpster. So that one, for example, it was a cool idea that we had, and then Claudio again just knock it out of the park.
Since they're machines,
the cover artist, for example, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
The cover artist is David Mental. He's a fantastic artist from Barcelona. He just finished working with Alien Romulus. He was one of the concept artists of that. He worked in Jurassic Park, and so you name it. He's working Love, Death and Robots. So it's a like crazy illustrator, and he's gonna make the cover for the album.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. He definitely understands how to make things pop off the page with the yellow, orange contrasting with the blue. It's gorgeous.
Because that's still Claudio. That's none of the covers. That's one of the scenes. That's like page. Oh, you have it there, page 23.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you.
32 pages, 4 numbers. This is number 1. It's gonna be 4 numbers. We want to reach like 100 something, and that's what we already have written. So.
Gotcha. I wanted to ask about this scene. Since they're robot, even if this is obviously their entertainment, is there risk involved, or can they just put themselves back together?
Yeah, there are some rules within the fighting that are explained in the comic, but the thing is that within the dumpster there's some kind of hierarchy that we're gonna explain in all the numbers, but I kind of hint something in this one. But then outside of this is like the Wild West. You have from one side totally out of control robots who are nomads, who are just ramping and killing, destroying whatever they see, or they have people who are ascribed to the organization, to the O1 is called the organization of the machines, and then you have like humans surviving, like escaping, being hidden. So it's a whole minefield outside of the peaceful, quote unquote, places, you know.
Yeah.
So, for example, this also is a clear influence from Mad Max 3. That's for me my favorite one. The other ones I don't, especially the last two, I don't like them at all because of just video clips, no substance. But that one had a story, you know. That one had a story. Hey, we create energy through methane. We have a city where two men enter, one man leaves, and all that. So for me, it was a fun, and even the dream that he has with the kids, that he's a person that is being prophesied, gonna help humankind. Blah, blah. So that movie for me is fun. For Tina Turner, you know. So
yeah, I liked that one too. That was one of my
that's
favorites.
my favorite.
I remember watching
That's
that
a good
one with
idea.
my dad. Thunderdome, Beyond
Yeah.
Thunderdome. Yes.
Thunderdome. Yeah. That for me is the most complete one of all the five.
Yeah. I haven't seen the Furiosa one yet. That was on my list. It just we haven't gotten around to going yet. But look at this. Oh, he's a samurai. Dang.
Yeah, this is one of the. He's the main dog in the pit.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be important character in the future. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's the guy in the pit. You know, everyone wants to go against and want to push, and because he was a combat and so he has a lot.
He was used for that war, and
Yeah.
he's still around.
Yeah, because but he and for example, that's one of the rules that he cannot kill anybody. Nobody can get killed. In combat.
Gotcha.
Just, hey, until
Yeah, it was like, well, if you're a robot, even if they break you, you're in a junkyard, you can find parts and just replace.
yeah, but there are certain things that, for example, like your energy cell and your CPU, or like if you destroy that, you're not really the same.
You're not really
because
you
they have
anymore.
conscience. You have the brain man. This is not like a toaster that you just repair and that's it.
Right.
It's a lot of things that could happen that can go wrong, and of course you get affected by stuff like that. You maybe don't come back complete. You come back by pieces if you ever come back at all. So that's the real danger for sure.
Yeah. Don't damage the software.
Yeah.
And then here she is.
That's
gorgeous.
my girl. Yeah.
So
it's like she's like 12, 13.
Okay.
14, preteen. You know, because we want to have like the whole innocence aspect to it of the classical.
Yeah.
That we think about Pinocchio, you know, like hey, being this naughty boy that wants to do good but always get guided by wrong people. But at least she has the core values that they already installed, and also as I mentioned before, the mentors. But there are things that are gonna happen that for sure are gonna test all of that. That's for sure.
I wouldn't
The
expect
idea
anything
is
less.
14 and up, more or less. 12 in Europe, because in the US it's always a little bit more strict. There's no gore, there's no sex, there's no nudity, so parents can be comfortable with that. The only thing is that we don't say less than that, because there are certain things that kids are not really gonna understand what they're talking about. They just want to see fighting or moving or eating or whatever. So, but again, that's something that we already tried with the last book. There are stories that I always said that for me the best model was when Pixar was good, or was bought by Disney, where they had good stories that attract the kids, but the parents are the one that really enjoy it, because they're the one that see all that is behind, all the jokes, get all the second things, the reference and all that. So that was a spirit from the beginning. So we're gonna have 1, 2, of course. Yeah.
I think that's harder to do than most people realize.
Yeah.
Because when you say all ages, a lot of people just assume it's a kid's book. But to have that extra layer where the adults are they're gleaning what the real message is, while the kids are just enjoying the entertainment, that's hard.
Yeah. My idol in writing is Dickens, and because he was the first professional writer in history, the first guy that really made his bread with his work. Before that, everyone was sponsored by a king or Duke or whatever. He was the first professional writer in history. So, and he achieved that first by publishing his novels through episodes in the newspaper, and also by doing that, by telling stories about kids but with a lot of layers, because normally the kids didn't know how to read, were the parents who the one who read to the kids back in the day.
Right.
So the parents said, "Oh, okay, oh, so he's okay. That I know what he's doing." And he was one of the first one. He didn't invent it, but he was one of the first one that did cliffhangers all the time.
That's interesting that you brought that up, because a lot of art had patrons. I have a fine arts degree, and of course they make you sit through art history, and they talk about like how a lot of major art that was created was paid for by the church. So we have all this, church related beautiful art, but a lot of times the artists would sneak in a message that hopefully the church didn't notice, stuff like that. But it's interesting to me, kind of the parallel where we are now, because with crowdfunding making it easier for people to do independent, we're more like the Dickens, instead of, if you take your stuff to a bigger publisher where they might be, now they're the patron, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then they also can control deadline, content,
No,
covers,
the gatekeepers,
etc.
for sure, obviously.
Yeah. So it still hasn't changed. It's still the same.
Yeah.
Just do you want to be independent, or do you want to
change
patron?
to stay the same? I would say, everything changes to stay the same, because at the end of the day, we're human beings, and we're not like, hey, everybody's saying, oh, everything limitless. No, we are very limited animals. So we do our best. I think we have done a lot with the conditions that we have. We're going to space. We're invested in nuclear power. So we have done a lot with our limitations. So, but we still have them. So don't get us wrong. We're not
Right.
gods and stuff like that. Just mortal beings, So that's why, for example, that's why for me the machines are so interesting.
Yeah.
The machine is one of the themes of the book. What makes a human? It's his mortality, his conscience, what is exactly. That's what he's trying to figure out.
And Christian, I feel like we're so close to this moment. Like when you see some of the AI and in the human form, and they're learning, it's scary. We're close to this.
I remember that I started with this novel, with this story. I live in Ireland. When I came to Ireland, I was working for a major. I'm still working in software for a major company. I was working for Google, and we were working in a program that normally Google is a company that works what's called need to know basis. So, but what Department A is doing, Department B doesn't know, except maybe one person knows. So, and we're working on really cool technology for YouTube, for like detecting language and detecting slur and detecting a lot of things mainly to cut down dangerous and crazy people. Sadly. So, and I remember that, okay, if I'm here and I'm not a high level, stuff like that, I'm not majoring in linguistics. So if we're working this here, what is the guy doing in the next field? Or what are the guys doing in the US? The big guns, the big money. So what are they working on? We're talking about 8 years ago.
8 years ago. So what are they doing now?
Exactly. Or what are they gonna do next year, or in 2 years, or in 3?
Yeah, and I feel like technology is it's not a, what do I want to say? The slope is steep. It's exponential. It's
Correct.
not a steady rise. It's
because it's not natural.
Bounce. Right.
It's not natural. Something that we have created, and as it's not natural, it has its own rules.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So the things that I don't want to bring everybody gloom and doom, because I think that if we do it, if we play cool, it's gonna be the best thing that ever happened to us, the species. And I'm even understating this, but it also have the potential of going really, really bad.
Yeah.
It's like what happened when we discovered nuclear energy.
I was just going to say that. I could see that with the atomic bomb, where we have nuclear energy, we have all these positives, but when they were like doing the Manhattan Project, they were like, there's a small percentage that we could destroy the Earth. So I could go completely the other direction and just destroy everything. We could ignite.
Yeah, and we didn't know, because this is all theory. We have to test this.
Right. Maybe and it's never been done before, so there's no way to know
until we do it, until we try it. And it was pushed because of a war. So let's not forget about that too.
Right.
So technology is always pushed because of wars, conflicts, because that gives you the edge. That's why, and let's not fool anybody. That's why the West won that war, because of course you drop two of those, and even they spelling beautiful in the movie. Why two is good? Because if we do two, they know it's not a coincidence. They know we can keep doing it.
They know it's repeatable.
Exactly, we can repeat it. So okay, let's all calm down.
Yeah.
So but I think it has the potential of solving. Not only now, I think for decades, it has the potential to solve the energy issue forever. The thing is that it's scary. It's scary to a lot of people, but you have to think of. I'm not a huge defender of nuclear energy, but I think it's being reasonable is the best solution for the energy issue worldwide, because it's not coal, it's not fossil fuels, of course, and yes, solar and wind, that takes time, and it's not that easy in certain places.
Right. And batteries, people are like, oh, well, batteries are the way, but it's like, we still have to mine the mineral from somewhere.
Correct.
And those people are being exploited. It's terrible. Like if you see the cobalt mines, the lithium mines, it's a terrible place to exist. And so, you get your battery, but it's slow going, and it's still destroying the earth and exploiting people along the way. So it's so hard to find what is the right answer for that.
No, it's gonna be like a multi-layered answer, but nuclear is gonna be a huge part of it. You have to bear in mind, for example, the last disaster we had, that was Fukushima. Nobody died. No one single person died, and it was caused by a tsunami.
Right.
It was an earthquake in the ocean. So not like a machine misfail or somebody miscrew something or a chip didn't work. No. It was like a wave of 10 meters high, of 30 feet. That of course we're not counting with that. But now they know that that's a possibility. So now it's even more safe,
protected,
than before. Because the thing is that when people think of nuclear, they think of
Chernobyl.
Of course, that's the one that
there's other ones. There's 3 Mile Island, and there's there's been other
that's
disasters.
the one that everybody goes to because it's the most scary one. But that was like 60 years ago, or 70 years ago.
Well, it's still contaminated though. That's what's scary to people, is like the ground there is still toxic. It's still changing the wildlife that's in that area. You can't go, and if you do go, you can't go for very long. But that's why there's that fear.
Yeah.
This is all interesting to me that we're talking about this, because this shows me how your brain thinks and the research that you've put into this story.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting to me.
This has been like, I'm not gonna lowball you. This has been like 4 years of work, really. The actual script and the actual comics and all that took like a year more or less. But it's been 3 years because I wanted to have a lot of things inside the book. Because I remember that one of the first person that I gave it to read, one of my first better readers, said, "Oh, this is a love story. There's no love here. Love story.
Like, did you read it?
No, nothing to do about it. And it's a love story, but not the way you think it is. It's gonna be explained at the end. So the love story is not about her love story. She's not.
Like the love of humanity, the love of.
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Okay.
So
well, we just have to read it, people. That's cool. That's cool, Christian. We all want to read this already based off of this conversation. So.
And that's the idea. And I want to put a lot of elements, and I put a little bit of comedy, put a little bit of action, put of innocence and discovery, and also people who are trying to because no human beings, a spoiler, no human beings are like doomed in this story. There are some who survive that figure it out.
Interesting.
Because I remember that we have this discussion years ago with some friends of mine, and they would say, okay, now the thing we're in a crossroad now we can go either to Star Trek or to Mad Max. So those are like the two paths that we are on. Okay, so it's either everybody for themselves and good luck. I hope you know how to fight. I know how to survive.
Mad Max.
Outside, or we're gonna like really evolve and really. So
Star Trek. Yeah.
exactly, it's either of those two. And I was like, okay, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yep.
To think about it, because
Mhm.
I think the best thing about our species is that we can be terrible in a lot of ways, but also we can be magnificent. So we
Yes.
have the duality,
That's it. And that's what I'm trying to capture in my story as well. The 100% that we can be terrible, but we can also be really, really good and determined and fix things through determination and empathy and
just being a normal person. That's what I said.
Mhm.
You don't have to be Mother Teresa or a saint or something. Just be nice, be people with respect and dignity. That's it.
Mhm.
Those two, three things, you're good. You don't need anything else.
Tell us. So this book specifically, how many pages is it going to be?
This is gonna be 32 pages, so it's
32,
gonna be
that's
a little bit
hefty.
longer than it's gonna be one of those maxi single issues.
Uh-huh.
And the second one is also already 32, so I think that's a good number.
Yeah. Okay. Stick to that.
So yeah,
And
32 pages, and we're gonna, as I mentioned before, we're gonna do first single issues.
Mhm.
This we're gonna do now in the summer, and our idea is to do the other one before the end of the year, hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah. Not on your
And,
head.
yeah, finish
You're
up
like, knock on wood.
next year, knock on wood, just in case. So and finish up next year, and then do the trade with the 4 issues.
So 3 issues, 4 issues? 4. Okay, good.
4 issues.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then combine them all into a trade. Ooh.
That's,
Can't wait for that one. That's gonna be cool.
because then we want to jump into the next popular things.
The next story.
Yeah, next story. And also in the middle, we're gonna do PunkDroid 2, because that's the video that you saw. That's a cyberpunk to talk about.
The anthology.
Yeah, the anthology. So we're gonna do hopefully next year.
I was like, because Christian and I had talked about me participating in that, and I was just like, I have to come. I haven't done anything cyberpunk. I'm like, as much as I would really want to, I was like, I don't know.
There's a friend of mine, Mary Bellamy. She's a girl she's from like My Little Pony, imagine. She's like complete opposite what you think.
Yeah.
But her story is you see the art is very, very her, so very beautiful colors, very popsy, very girly, very slimy. But the story is hugely dark. So
I like that too, where it's just this juxtaposition. Like I like watching movies that have fight scenes set to classical music. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that, where it's just like these things don't match, but they're so much better when you put them together.
Of course. No, but I think as I was mentioned before, we are a species full of contradictions. So
yes.
And there's something I remember that when I was studying my major back in the day, many years ago, it's something that's why I love so much the Gothic movement, the Romantics and all that, because people think of the Romantics, like Romanticism. No. The Romantic is a literary movement that was against the realists. So people that say, science and perfection. No, the Romantics say, no, we are not perfect. We are not made of clay. We need to love that exactly, what made us imperfect, and that's why Frankenstein that's the main book from that era, and it's the man trying to play God and to be better than they are, and then of course things are going wrong because we are not, we don't have that wisdom, and we're very egocentric in that sense. We think we are more than we really are. We're just monkeys that learn how to use their thumbs. That's about it.
That's so funny. Can we use that? We need to clip that. We're just some monkeys that have learned to use our thumbs, people.
Yeah, that's it. That's and work a little straighter than our cousins, but
stand up straighter.
Very, very similar. Very, very similar. Especially if you're interested, if you read like anthropology stuff like that, you see the progression that we have made. And but that progression for us, it looks like a long time, but for the Earth, it's a joke.
Short, super short, right? What do they say? If it was an hour, we would be in like the last second of the hour.
Yeah, if we're like 24 hours, the time of the Earth will be the last.
That's the one. I was like, I'm not saying this right, but yeah, that's the anthology.
Correct.
which is insane. I took a cultural anthropology class in college, and I remember like some of the really cool things. And it's almost like the way our body changed and evolved is how the nuclear family was created, which is insane, but that's how it works. So
Yeah, of course.
we'll get into that a whole nother.
No, we
super
don't come from
interesting.
space. We come from where we come from.
Mhm.
Even if you believe or whatever stuff like that, you need to be a little bit realistic of certain things, you know. So so we
once
come from where
again,
we come from.
when does this campaign launch? July 18th?
Yeah, we're aiming for that date, so we really hope to nail it to that date because we want to because that's a Thursday, so we normally launch on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And I've learned many years ago the best day because it's just before the weekend and you can you have the weekend, then you can also pre-launch Monday. So that's our idea, and then finish the 30th of August because that's my birthday. So
Yay! That'll be a great day to celebrate. Well, which platform are you going to be launching on?
It's gonna be Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, okay.
We're not gonna ask for much. We're gonna ask for like 2K only. So I hope that we can.
Yeah, hit it fast.
Well, because as I was mentioning to you before, we had a hack last year, and for example, my Facebook profile is doomed. The things we still have the mailing list, and then we still have the site and all that, but that was a huge headache, horrible. So that's why I'm calling out I'm cashing in all the favors that I can, and to that's why I contact Pulse back in the day. I want one of the sponsors of the Madness too. So I need to be and as much as possible so that people can see it. After that, they don't want it. Okay, good, but at least they see that. Hey, they can judge by themselves.
Yeah.
We're preparing the video. That's why we're taking a little bit longer than it should, but it's gonna be something similar to the show.
I love that video too. It's great
Yeah.
video. Because Pops was like, "Hey, we got a new video. It's that PunkDroid one." I was like, "The which one?" And when I finally played, I was like, "This is awesome." I was like, "This is a cool video, man." And I'm always like, I always play that one at the beginning just because it's so cool. I'm like, I'm gonna play the PunkDroid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we want to have like to put because one of the things that I do, I also do like consulting stuff like that, but we want to do crowdfunding, and I say the video is like 75% of the campaign. If you have a crappy video, it's gonna be hard to
yeah, that's
if you have
one
a
of the
good video,
things.
it's
Gosh. Well, I mean, like that's one of the things that everybody kind of plays around, and hopefully we nail it. But it's like videos are so hard because our attention span is so short now that people just like if you can't capture them in the first 10 seconds, that's it. Yeah.
Sure.
You got 10 seconds
No,
to make
that's
an
why,
impression.
for example, if you see in the video, that's why the music at the beginning is very loud.
Catch the people's attention. Yeah. I ran myself over with a car for one of my welcome videos so people could see, like, that's the first thing is you see is like, here's Ellie Brock smashed. And it's like, okay, do I have your attention? And even then it was like, I think my playthrough was at 30%, which is good, but it's just like, oh my gosh, what do you have to do?
No, now it's complicated because now it's true that art has become more democratic, let's call it, less gatekeepers, something like that. But it's also that also has a content point, that of course like it's easier quote unquote to produce, and then but then you compete with you don't compete, there are way too much offer for more or less the same demand or even decreasing demand. That's something that we have talked with several of the stores that because we normally work with like these exclusive distributors, we don't sell to everybody, we just sell to big stores that we know that they don't care about the product. They're not gonna post it out in a box and forget about it and then want a refund a year later. So we try that doesn't work. So less is better. So that's one of the things that they say is that nowadays we have every week we have in comics, we have like 80. And this is the big guys. This is not us. This is like DC, Marvel, the Image, and Dark Horse. This is the big guys, like 80, 90, depends on each week. So that's not sustainable. at all.
Not for me.
No, not for us. No,
Not for us, right? I can't speak for
one
every-
or two books a year. That's it.
Right. And I mean, like, I think that when let's use Image as an example. If you're shopping for Image, a lot of times, like, I have a long running series. They probably won't even be interested in me until I'm almost done, because that's how they release their comics. And it's like, it takes me 6 months to make one, because that's what it takes me to make
Yeah.
one, right? But for them, they're like, that's not quick enough. So a lot of times, if I'm trying to attract a bigger publisher like Image, they would just be like, how many issues do you have? Tell us when you're done, kind of thing. Like, they won't even look at you until, like, if
Yeah.
I have 12 issues, they won't look at me until all 12 are done.
Yeah, because they have the slate. So I'll say, okay, we have 6 or we have 12. Okay, so this is
Mhm.
gonna take us, it's gonna be 12 months, or this is gonna be 6 months, or this is gonna be 20 months. So we're gonna just
Mhm.
release it and go for it. You know? And I understand it, but at the end of the day, it's a business, you know. So
Right.
and I understand it too. But that's why I love so much about the crowdfunding thing, because it's something that allows you to work at your pace,
Yes.
sustainable pace, because we all have jobs, we all have things to do. Sadly, it's not, at least I'm talking about me, not my 100% my only source of income.
Yeah.
So I need to work and family and the house and this, and the podcast and that. On top is this. So of course, it's, and the same with the artist. You're not gonna forget about everything. Just do this. And say, okay, how I feel.
Right.
You're crazy.
Full-time job. That comes
Correct.
first. And that's what I remind people too. Like, I don't have a full-time job. My full-time job is my family. So when people are like, well, you can just hop on. I'm like, no, that's my
Of
kids' time. I was like, and that's my actual job. Like, that's my job, people. Like, I have to cook dinner. That's my job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get
No,
paid
the
for it,
house
but
has a
I
lot of
take care
work.
of my
The
house.
cleaning
Like,
and the dishes and the trash.
sucks,
and
man.
something
I do all the
breaks.
things that nobody else
I know
wants
it
to
is.
do.
Yeah.
Dishes, laundry, cooking, cleaning.
No,
It sucks.
I think I'm over that, but it's a lot of work to have kids. A lot of work. So everybody has their own secrets. So it's important that also people are aware of that. Hey, this is a labor of love. This is not.
Mhm.
Of course, we all want to achieve more things, but we also have the feet on the ground.
Yeah, and I think that is the hardest part of being indie, is the time. Being
Yeah.
able to commit the time, because even if you're wearing so many hats, where it's like you have your personal life, you're doing this on top, but if you're a writer, that's really should be your focus, but you're also now marketing, and you're on podcasts, and you're building a Kickstarter, which takes
Stores
time.
and sales and marketing and social media.
So right, and all of that takes away from writing and being creative. So it's such a fine line to figure out. It's like triage. It's like you have to do what's most important that day. And then when things calm down, it's like, okay, I can write again.
No, it's consistency. As you mentioned
That
before,
too.
everybody can write one book or publish one book, but not everybody can do 10.
Right.
That's for sure. Because after you do one, is when you realize the work that it
How
has.
much work. I know, that's why so many people quit after one. And you could be hugely successful and be like, this was so much work, I don't want to do it.
That's it. And that's and the thing is that it's something I talk with writers, because artists are different. Everybody, it has some magic to it, you know. Writing it's like it's like speaking. Oh, I can write, right? So I have this idea. Okay, do it, man. Go for it, please.
Go ahead. See what you can do.
Yeah, I encourage you. Go for it. Do it. Come on, go for it. See if you find somebody to do the pages, or to the layout, or to print. Go for it, man. For sure. That's the thing, that it looks accessible, but not after you have done it, and especially if you've done it several times, is when you realize the toll it takes. Every time. Every time. But hey, this is something I enjoy, so I'm gonna keep doing it. As people keep buying them, I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm still having fun. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy what I do. I think it comes off when you get a creator that's passionate about their project and And you definitely are, and just having a conversation with you about all the science and research and things that go into, there's that dang spider again. I'm gonna kill that thing. Anyway, but it excites me to know that you're having fun, that you're, going down rabbit holes to write these stories. And that's what I want to consume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what me as a reader wants to read, is somebody who's passionate and excited and having fun. Because if it's a slog for you, it's going to be a slog for your readers too.
No, for sure. You're gonna project that for sure. And also, it's something I learned and I read somewhere some years ago, that at the beginning, people don't really buy the story; they buy you.
That's it. That's 100% it.
They buy the writer, or they buy the creator, or they buy the people that's behind. With time, yeah. Once you have consolidated and you have a name and you have a brand, and then people buy the brand, they don't buy you.
Right.
Brand. But at the beginning, by you. And it's something if you've been to conventions, stuff like that, is when you talk to, because people see the art is like debate, no? Oh, yeah. Let me see. Oh, what is this about? And then it's when when you
talk to them.
Exactly, and that's that really sells people, is that interaction, because that's something that that's our advantage too. That's something that the big guns cannot do that. So you cannot have, I don't know, Claremont, Miller, or Neil Gaiman talking to thousands of people explaining the latest book. Impossible. You want to have time. So because they already are a brand. So the one that I experienced from you, the whole thing that people forget what they bought or what they are acquired, but they never forget how you make them feel. They will never forget.
Right. That was something that I was just talking about with ASAP Imagination, because one of the perks that they do is when they go to cons, they take all the books from everybody that they publish and they have them on the table. But I have found that nobody sells quite, you know what I mean? Nobody pitches the same way. Nobody gives the elevator pitch the same way that I do. So here's the solution we came up with. So that he has like a little spinny rack. And he has my books on it. And so I recorded my elevator pitch and I put it on my YouTube page and I linked it with the QR code. So he printed the QR code and it's on the little spinny stand where my book is. And so he's like, I could pitch this book to you or scan this QR code and let Laurie pitch it to you. And that I think will work way better, where people can see me like, hi, I'm Laurie Calcaterra, and I'm animated, and I'm excited, and I'm telling them the things that I think is important. And it's like, I think 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
People value a lot. Oh, you did this. Oh, you wrote this. Oh, what's the person behind it? Yeah.
So we're gonna try it and see how successful it is. We're always trying to think outside the box, of course, but we'll see if that works, because of course it's always better when I do the pitch. So if they can see me do it, we'll see if it'll be more success. Yeah. That's all the time we got today, man. But you know what, everybody that's watching, it's cool. Christian's going to be back. We're going to recap how the campaign went. And Christian, please, when you get your links, make sure you send them to me, because I can always pull them up on the show and give you a shout out like we did in the beginning. Like, hey, here's the things that are live right now. We had Christian on. This is live. And you're excited about it like we are.
Follow us through the website. It's on popstudio.com. So the information is going to be there. And if you just with Pinocchio, that's going to be very soon. We already have the domain, everything, so it's going to be very soon. So I will still finish on the latest things.
Do you have socials you can share with everybody?
Yes, it's on Popular Studio from Facebook, and the same on Instagram and Twitter. It's Red RSC. If you go to the website, you have all the websites. It's the easiest way. So unpopstudio.com. UNPOPSTUDIO. Yeah, easier. Then you have LinkedIn, you have TikTok, everything is there. Twitter, the Instagram, the threads. They only haven't done this latest one they talk about.
Which one?
The one that they talking about, the
Cara,
that one. That's the only one.
Clara. I'm not on there because I'm not an artist. So
I put the same Instagram. I put like things from the artist, the pages, stuff like that. But
I think they're trying to, again, when they're trying to mitigate, they're going around, because Meta, if you put art on any of Meta's platforms, they can use it to train their AI, is what they
Or they
said.
can use Cara too. Spoiler alert.
You can?
Of course.
Wow, then what's the point, people? I thought that was the whole purpose of it.
This is something people get mad at me when I say these things, because sorry, it's the truth. This is the same thing that happened to musicians when Netscape, not Netscape, what was the thing that was
Napster.
Napster
We were just talking about this.
I'm sorry, people. It's the same thing. So you need to, as you mentioned, you need to find clever ways to circumvent that, but this is gonna keep happening. And sorry to break it to you. And
well, again, thank you. Go ahead. Were you still? Did you need to finish?
No, just
okay. I was just going to say thank you again for hopping on the show. It's always hard when that's double-edged sword. I booked out far, but then some people forget that they're on the show because they booked it 2.5 months ago. So they're like, "Oh, I forgot." You know what I mean? So I'm like, "All right, who wants to come on the show?" Right? I'm like, "Who wants to come on?"
No worries.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm glad I was like, "Come on before, and then come on after, and we'll do this whole, follow up with the project," and that's kind of cool. So I'm glad you're able to come on, and thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you,
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving us the space in your wonderful program, your wonderful audience, and hopefully next month we can show you the real thing. Yeah, even though you have the real thing, but like the actual.
I'm excited. I wanna come support you for sure. Yes, you got my vote. So, but thank you everybody for watching. What?
It's gotta be a single issue, so cheap.
I'm okay with that. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm, super excited that we were funded yesterday. It was a great feeling to have it happen on a live stream. Like I said, I went on Monday Madness, I went on Critical Blast, and then I hopped on Carissa's non-show. And by the time we were done with the 3 shows, everybody kind of like woke up and came out. So thank you again for your support. Join us next week. We're going to have more indie creators on the show because that's what we do. Make sure you're awesome to each other and kiss your babies. See you all next week.
The world has touched you down. The smile on your brow.